Hello, welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Erica and this is Flosstube number 38. If you are new, I hope you decide to hang out for a little while and see what I have been stitching this week. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I am laughing because this is the second time that I have filmed this video today. I was 13 minutes into the last one and my kids were going ballistic downstairs, so I had to go regulate and come back upstairs. And I decided to just start all over because for half of the video you could hear my 2-year-old crying downstairs because her brother wouldn't let her play with the game. My husband is fishing today and so they're by themselves. I was trying not to turn on cartoons for them because they don't watch very much to begin with, but I'm trying to cut back on what they do watch unless it's educational. And so I put on their computer program that he really likes. It's called Reading Eggs. And normally they just love watching. The little girl will watch my older brother, her older brother, play it. And just this morning it was just not happening. So this is gonna feel like deja vu for the first 10 minutes or so, but now they're watching Gigantosaurus and I should be able to get some time from them. If you are new, there will be a time listed in the description where you can skip forward through all of my chit chat to the Stitchy Talk. I will typically chat about life stuff for a little bit in the beginning. It's not going to be much today, but if you want to go straight to stitching, there will be a time listed in the description. Oh my goodness. This whole week has been a blur. Like there's all these memes on Facebook about how the time between Christmas and New Year's is just like, you don't know what year it is or what day it is. And that's exactly how I feel, especially because my husband has been off of work. He's gone in for a couple half days, but really it feels like he's been home forever. No, it's been nice having him here. He's gotten a lot of stuff done around the house, but our routines are thrown off. Their soccer and swim didn't happen for the last 2 weeks. And so I feel like we've been sitting at home a lot, which we have, but we've been getting a lot of school stuff done, a lot of cleaning and organizing done. So it's been fun-ish. I'm excited that things are going to get back to normal next week. We didn't really do anything out of the ordinary. We usually go do something really fun as a family once a week on the weekends, but ever since Christmas, we haven't really done any hiking or museums or anything out of the norm, so there's not really much to talk about. The kids are both doing great. Everyone's happy and healthy and excited for a good 2020. So I think that's about it. I will say real fast, I have the camera on a tripod like usual, but the tripod's usually on the desk that I use, and now it's on the floor. I rewatched a couple minutes of last week for some reason, and I noticed, and I've known this before, it shakes a lot and it picks up on every little like scratchy sound right in front of it, and it drives me crazy. So I'm hoping that with it being on the floor on the tripod stand, it will be less shaky and less scratchy noises and this and that. And I'm also trying to talk a little bit louder so that the sound still picks up even though it's only like 4 inches farther away. Hopefully it's better. I think that's about it. I will say real fast before I forget, my 2 giveaway winners from last week, I'm so sorry they haven't been mailed out yet. They're mailing out tomorrow. I got kind of slammed with orders after I released 4 new bags last week, and between my husband being home and like a routine being off and all the orders, everything, I just keep forgetting. They will go out tomorrow. So I'm very sorry. Please be patient with me. They're going out tomorrow. Okay. So I already showed you guys all my whips in my last video, but I'm going to go through them again, probably in reverse order, just so that I don't feel like it's total deja vu. Oh no, did I kick it? I think I kicked it. Sorry. And you like my little space shirt? I don't know where I got this. I think I got it from Fred Meyer. I think that's what it was in Alaska. I was just there a year ago. You'd think I wouldn't forget everything. It's King Soopers here, which I feel is like the weirdest name for a grocery store. But I think I got it at Fred Meyer. I don't know why I love it so much. It reminds me of, who is it, Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus series and like the weird stuff that she would wear. Anyways, I need to write down the time for people to skip to Stitchy Talk. Okay. So a new start that I had this week is the Prairie Schooler from Prairie Seasons. I started this one up here, the spring. I know it's a little bit blurry. I plan on doing spring and summer. Summer, I really love that tree, just the 60s vibe. and then the autumn one for sure. I will not do winter. I don't love it, and I have a lot of other winter stuff that I really love. Okay, real fast before I get into the stitchy thing. I'm still completely obsessed with the Victorian era, particularly late 1800s rural farming life. I will say I texted my mom last night and I was like, I would be all about this life except for dental work without anesthesia or being knocked out. And for some reason, like everything I watch, like people get amputated all the time. Like you're gonna lose a hand, you're gonna lose a leg, and you're completely awake for it. No, sir, not gonna happen. But aside from those two things, like that is my dream life, I think. And I finished Lark Rise to Candleford this week. And it's such a good show, but it's very soap opera-y. And then I went straight into rewatching one of my other old favorite period pieces. It's only like 10 years old. It's not that old. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of wind. And it's called Cranford. It is so good. And then last night, for some reason, YouTube showed me a video of a woman in the 70s interviewing 3 women who were children in the right around 1900 to 1902, and what Christmas celebrations were like at the turn of the century. Oh my God. I'm so obsessed with it. And it's so amazing to me to think that, 40 years ago, we could still sit there and talk to women who were alive during the Victorian era and ask them what Christmases were like. Like, it's just mind-blowing how not long ago that was. Sorry, I keep looking at, it looks like wind, but the trees aren't moving, and then it kind of looks like smoke. But it's not smoke. I'm just being distracted. And for their Christmases, the one thing that really stood out, the kind of common theme from the way all 3 of the women answered, was that they were all handmade. The trees were gone. They got the trees, a couple days before Christmas. They cut them down. They made all the ornaments on the trees. They made all the table centerpiece ornaments with holly and ivy and pine cones and chestnuts. They made most of the gifts that they gave to one another. They prepared the meals for Christmas months ahead of time. And I meant to look into that because they all talked about Christmas pudding, which as an American, I have no idea what that is. Like, I just think Jell-O pudding, which obviously is not going to be what the Victorians were making for Christmas Day. Mince pies, which I think is pie with meat in it, which I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if it's like a pot pie, I could see that. Maybe that's kind of the same thing. But it was just so amazing. And they all talked about how happy it was. Not one of them said that it was stressful or overwhelming, anything like that. It was just happy, and everything revolved around food because hunger was a very big issue at that time. 2 of the women came from relatively poor families. One of them, I think she said her dad worked for the post office, and they were pretty well off. It was just amazing. Like, I'll link it below if anybody wants to watch it because I don't know. YouTube, like I said, randomly suggested it to me, and I was like, yes, please, I'm going to watch this. And then there was another one where they interviewed people who were from the Victorian era, just about daily life in the Victorian times. It's just so amazing to me. And I know I'm glorifying it and romanticizing it in my head, obviously, because many children died. People, like I said, had issues with dental work, and imagine having all of this stuff, or childbirth without pain medicine. Lord help me. I couldn't imagine. I think a lot of them drank, though, which I could appreciate. That's probably what I would do if I was in labor without pain medicine. I did think it was funny that in Lark Rise to Candleford, and I know I'm going off on a huge topic, so I'm going to rewrite the time of when you can fast forward to get to Stitchy Talk. In Lark Rise to Candleford, Lark Rise was a very small village, and I noticed they didn't have a grocery store. I want to say it was around the 1880s. Every single family had a garden, and they hunted meat. And that was it. That's what they ate. They ate from their backyard and the meat that they could find, rabbits, whatever, stuff like that. And whenever it came time to have a baby, they didn't call for a doctor. They sent for the oldest lady in the village. Her name was Queenie, and Queenie could do everything. She was a little bit of a healer. She kept bees. She made lace from bobbins. Like, she's kind of like my idol. And I just miss that. I miss their sense of community and sense of neighborly helpfulness and consideration and helping one another. And we're also isolated now. Like, my mom always talks about how, I think she was talking to maybe her grandmother, and she commented on how when she was growing up, nobody had fences. you went in your backyard and you would talk to the other woman across, you know, the way who was hanging up her clothes, and all the kids would play together, and everyone was just constantly around each other. And now we're all in our locked houses with our privacy fences, and you don't know your neighbors' names. I mean, we do, thankfully. We've got really nice neighbors. But it hasn't always been like this, and it just feels very isolating sometimes. So I think that's one of the things that I really wish we still had, that the Victorian era had, and even, you know, probably till the 30s, 40s, and 50s before people started moving out into suburbs. It's just a sense of family and community. But okay, off on a tangent, and now we're at 10:30. Oh man, and I don't know how long my kids are gonna give me, so I need to hurry it up. Okay, so I was showing you before I went off on a 5-minute tangent about the Victorian era. Prairie Schooler Spring is what I have started. There we go. And I also have some secret stitching on here, which I gotta make sure I don't show you. My Valentine's patterns will be released this week. I have two, one fully stitched up, the other one almost done. So here's my very small start on spring. Just the bird and the roof. They were in the same color gray, and the word spring. And then, we're not showing you guys anything. On this same fabric, I have been working on Prairie Schooler ornaments as part of my hashtag ornament SAL 2020, Ornament Stitch Along 2020, along with Made by Michelle McGraw. We are just trying to get lots of ornaments stitched up this year, not waiting until November and December to do them. So I'm only going to do, I've done the snowman and the polar bear. I plan on doing the peace dove over the village. Maybe the Santas at some point later on, but I have a lot of other Santas that I want to do before these. So for now, I have these two finished. Look at how sweet that polar bear is hugging. I don't know why, but I am so obsessed with him. He's so cute hugging his little tree. And then here's the snowman. I accidentally used a lighter brown that was called, there's two browns in the whole series, and I used a lighter one on accident instead of the darker one, but I think it looks fine. They're so cute. So like I said, I'll probably do the peace dove here, and then move on to new ornaments. I showed off last week the one I got. It said warmest wishes, and it's a snowman warming his butt by a fire. Oh my God, it's so cute. That one might be the next one I do. Oh, and I am starting the Victorian Village ornaments by Dimensions. It's a Dimensions kit that I have had my eyes on for years. And oh gosh, I know her name's Katie. I can't remember her Instagram name. I'll link it below. She is doing them right now as part of a SAL with somebody else. So I am going to hop on that SAL and start working on those. They're gonna get here today. I had just a tiny little bit of Christmas money left. So I've got some stuff for the kids coming, and that, I think that might be it. I want to say I ordered something else. Maybe some Spanish books. I noticed a lot of Flosstubers are doing like end of year whip parades. I'm not doing that today, mostly because I just did a whip parade like a couple weeks ago. It might have been 2 months ago now. If you look through my videos, it'll say whip parade in the description. And I haven't really added too much since then. So you can see all my big projects that are going to be carried into 2020. And gosh, there's something else I was gonna go with that. Oh, goals. Okay, so I haven't really thought about stitchy goals for next year either. Like, oh my, some of you guys are so organized with your spreadsheets, and you know, I've worked on this project for 8 hours, and this project I started in May of 2017. And I can't do that, y'all. I mean, I used to be organized like that, and then I had 2 kids, and then I had the business, and I wish that I could. I really wish that I could keep track of like when things were started and what. So my goal for 2020 is to just finish up some of the big projects that I have going now. Cathedral Woods Goddess, Egyptian Chatelaine, I don't think I'm going to get finished, but I want to make a good deal of progress on. My mom's project will definitely be finished up probably before Mother's Day. And then this, oh, I haven't showed these two yet because that was my last video that I had to erase. The 1830 permanent sampler, I don't think will be finished this year either, but you never know. My Christmas Village, my Little House Needleworks Hometown Holidays is so close to being finished. That reminds me, I have 2 other ornaments from their farmhouse series. I don't think are fully finished, so I could count those as part of my 2020 ornaments. I could have 4 almost done already in January. Okay, so speaking of my mom's. Like I said, I feel like I've shown you guys this already because I just did 20 minutes ago. This is Little House Needleworks Hillside Travelers. The pattern, ooh, it's about 10 years old. Not one of their more popular ones, I don't think, because I've never seen anybody stitching it. But it's the one that my mom picked out for me to do for her, and I love it. I think it's very pretty. Let me just see if I can, oh. The only thing that I worked on this week, oh hey, hi guys, this isn't awkward at all, was the dark fill-in around the bottom text. That little dark that you see, I think it's 3371, took me 4 hours. So all the fill-in will probably take me 20 hours. And I'm still waiting from Threads and Twined order, oh my gosh, that I made during their New Year sale that she said wasn't going to ship until like this week, so that's fine. But I'm waiting on 2 colors from her to continue. Like the roofs on the houses are both hickory sticks, which I don't have any of. And I said that I would never use again because the first hickory sticks that I bought was not variegated at all, and it was my very first fancy floss ever, so I was so excited. And then I used it, I was like, what is this? I might as well just use DMC. Then I ordered a second one for some reason, and it was super variegated. So I went ahead and ordered it for this one because maybe the first one I just got was like a dud. And then Forest Glade is another color that I need to fill in some like trees and shrubbery in between. So the darkness is a lot. It does make the words pop though, so I'm excited to finish it. I need to get these in project bags too, but I have just been so busy filling orders that I haven't made any for myself. Okay, last whip, and then I'm gonna get into some Stitchy Kindness and the giveaway. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I already said this video. Maybe I did. Giveaway winners, your giveaways are gonna go out tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Everything has just been like chaotic and crazy, and I keep forgetting, and I don't know what day it is, and I've already said all this. Such deja vu. They'll be going out tomorrow. Oh yay, now I have low battery because this is my second time filming today. This is the 1830 sampler I'm working on. You guys were all so sweet last week saying the blue looks fine, keep going. Because I was feeling a little bit of a country vibe from the dark and light blue checkered on the top and the letters. And I would say 95% of you said, it looks fine, just keep going with it, it looks good. A couple of you did say, oh yeah, I can see the country vibe, but it doesn't look bad. And it's not, you don't get that vibe from the dark color or the big motifs, and you don't get it at all when it's far away. So I'm excited. This is gonna be a big one. This week I just worked on this stuff right here and then all that. My focus this week has definitely been my Valentine stitching. Oh my god, it's so cute, you guys. So cute. And then also I did get to that 4, maybe 6 hours done at my mom's, and that snowman ornament. I got a lot of stitching done. I started and finished that snowman ornament this week. Okay, so moving into some Stitchy Kindness. I have been just so, I don't know, lucky to get some really, really cool Stitchy Kindness this week. So the first one was a package from Michelle, made by Michelle McGraw, and she sent me some Christmas stuff. So this sweet Prairie Schooler Santa. Like I said, these are some of the Santas that I want to get stitching before I go back to the ones on my little evergreen pattern. Oh gosh, it's cute. Little House Needleworks. What is the name of it? No Place Like Home. The word home is just left unstitched. I think when I stitch it, I'm going to stitch it in a green and maybe do the words in green too. There's no place like home in a really Christmassy green. And this one, Santa's Revisited for 84, 89, and 91. I'm going to do the cardinal one for sure. Oops, sorry. And then maybe the one with the pineapple. There's another series of the Revisited Santas that I want to order. One is a quilting Santa. And then there's another one in that set, and I can't remember what it is. I don't think it's apples, but there's 2 in that series that I really want to do. And then these 3 as well. I really like the red work. So thank you so much for sending these. I'm definitely going to get started on some of those Prairie Schoolers or the Little House Needleworks ASAP. And then the other Stitchy Kindness was from a viewer named Amanda. She's a fellow military spouse. Oh my gosh, she sent me the cutest card too. Look at the llamas. I told her when my husband goes like TDY or something, he's going to come home to alpacas in the backyard. I need to confirm that we can have them under the county ordinances, but I know I can have chickens. So I want chickens and I want alpacas. Alpacas are like the size of big dogs. They get to like 130, 150 pounds. They're not nearly as big as llamas, but they're still as amazing. It would bring me so much joy to go out in the backyard every morning, look over my garden, and have an alpaca sitting there with me. I mean, it would be indescribable the amount of joy it would bring into my life. So, you know, my husband keeps telling me no, but since when does that stop me? So he might come home to that one day. Okay, so she sent me Llama Lump. Oh my God, it's so cute. Oh good, half the called for are hickory sticks at DMC. So that's good. And some Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works. Oh, they're listening to the Bee Brave song by Tots. It's so cute. And the other thing she sent me, you're gonna love this. Another one of these Perman 1830 samplers. Y'all, this pattern is not cheap. And so I asked her, I said, did you stitch it? Are you done with it? And she said, no, I ordered from 123 Stitch and they sent it to me by accident. And she messaged them and said, hey, what do you want me to do with it? And they said, keep it. So this is the giveaway for this week, you guys. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, oh no, it's the same. I was gonna say their pattern or their description looks different than mine, but I think it's the same. Yeah, the design size on 30 count linen is 20 by 29 inches. So since I'm doing it on 28 count, it ends up being like 24 by 32 or something like that. Okay, so if you want this, just comment and say you would like to do something with the word 1830. That is the year of it. It's sampler 1830, but just all you have to write in there is 1830. I'd like to stitch 1830, anything like that. That's it. So, oh my gosh, I think that's all I had to talk about. Stitchy Kindness giveaway, whips. Oh, it's getting chilly. Goodness. Oh, Muppet Babies is on. How cute. Oh, I forgot. I don't shake the table now when I touch it. Hopefully, you guys could hear me clearly. Like I said, I'm trying to project my voice a little bit more to compensate for the 2 inches that it has recessed toward the wall. Oh, they're playing with their Tots toys too. I will do a separate video this week when my Valentine stitching is finished and ready to be released. I'm so excited about it. And I had talked about a charity pattern that I was working on months ago that was a gift my great-grandmother received from her best friend from school many decades ago. I saw it hanging at my parents' house when we went down there for my kids' birthdays in September, and I said, I think I want to rechart this and tweak the colors a little bit because it was very like 70s and 80s colors, maybe even earlier than that. And release it as a charity pattern. Well, I have not gotten around to stitching it, and so I have decided I'm just going to release a digital image of the pattern, I'm going to list the pattern on Etsy, but instead of using a photo of the finished product, I'm just going to use a picture of the digital pattern. So that way people can go ahead and purchase it and start stitching it if they want, and I don't feel guilty because I've never gotten back to stitching it or anything like that. I need to just pick a charity, and then I'll get that listed hopefully this week, and then the Valentine's patterns as well. I was hoping to get 3 of the Valentine patterns stitched up, but one of them I'm having a hard time getting the way that I want it to look, and so I suspect I'm just going to release the 2 this week. I need some finishing items for them, some ribbon. Oh, I'm looking at fabric right now that would go good with it, but that's not ribbon. I just don't really want to take my kids to the craft store because they're so sick of going to the craft store. And they go a little, not haywire, but they just get really bored really quickly because we're there so often, and I don't blame them. I don't know. So as soon as I can get to the craft store with or without them, I will be able to finish them and get on video to show them off because they're so cute. I guess that's it. We'll be back to normal next week, normal routine, normal work schedule for my husband. Our trip to Disney is in like 27 days or something crazy. And I paid it off. I'm so excited. I paid it off. We used a little bit of Christmas money that we received for the kids. And then I used a little bit of the money that I made from the sales last week when I released all those new bags. And the hotel's paid. The character dining is all paid for. The airline and the Disney tickets themselves. Guys, Disney is not cheap. And they don't have to be cheap. Like, it's not a right that everyone gets to go there. But goodness, it really is very expensive to take your kids to Disney. The tickets alone, even with the military discount, it was $850 for 3 tickets because my daughter is under 3, so she doesn't need one. That's just insane. I cannot imagine not having the military discount and having more than one kid that was over ticket age. Like, it's so expensive. But we only go, this is going to be our second time going, and the last time was 2 years ago. So if we go once every 2 years, and they're going to probably get to the age where they don't want to go to Disney when they're teenagers, and so we'll do other things. And it's fun. I really like going while they still believe in everything and they think everybody's real. So I really wanted to go one more time. The kids will be, 4.5 and 2.5. So I think it's going to be a really sweet age for them. But then I'm excited to start planning other like camping and hiking vacations because my husband and I both are very outdoorsy. I'm hoping to raise my kids to love the outdoors as well. So it'll be fun to plan other non-Disney vacations when they're a little bit older. Okay, I'm going to get going. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope the slightly new setup works well and there's less background noise and shaking, but you can still hear me. If the volume continues to be a little bit of an issue, I'm going to look into getting a speaker or microphone or something, because as I was rewatching my own videos, some of them you can hear me very clearly, and some of the other ones the volume is very low, and I don't know why there's any sort of difference because I do everything the same every week. So if I see this same thing this week, maybe where the volume you can just barely hear me, I'm going to look into either a speaker or a microphone. If you do Flosstubes and you have one of those things, please let me know what you use, because I am technologically challenged most of the time, and I have no idea what to get that would be the most effective for what I need. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next weekend.